Hey friends, how's it going? I am so excited to talk about this novella today. It is The Daring Debutante by Tracy Sumner. Now, I'm going to assume you all have read the Duchess Society series by Tracy Sumner, which is by far actually my favorite series that I have read this year. I am a huge fan of the Duchess Society and all the characters, and The Daring Debutante is the second generation of the Duchess Society. We get to witness a love story between Xander Macaulay's daughter and Tobias Streeter's son. Now, Nigel, Toby's son, we get to meet him in Toby's book, and he's a child back then, and he's actually adopted by Toby and Hildy. He has quite a dark background. He comes from nothing. He doesn't even know his real name, or he doesn't know his date of birth. And he's so incredibly lucky to have been adopted by Toby and Hildy. Now, Arabella is the daughter of Pippa and Xander, and she's had it all since she was a child. She's used to having things her way, having things come to her easy. She's gotten education as much as a woman can during those days. And according to the book, she has inherited her father's devious streak and her mother's intractability. So we know she's taken after both Xander and Pippa, and I found it so interesting. Towards the end of the novella, Macaulay actually says, when he's talking to his daughter, that out of his children, which by the way he has 4 children but only 1 daughter, he says that his daughter is the only one who's actually taking after him, and it's kind of scary because she's a girl. Now, what I loved about this book is, of course, getting to peek a bit further into the lives of the characters that I've grown to love when reading the Duchess Society. It's beautiful to witness Macaulay as a father to adult children and get to see his relationship with Pippa all those years after this story happens, to still see their love, which is still beautiful as before. What I found interesting is that Nigel and Arabella's love story kind of mirrors the love story of Pippa and Macaulay, which is quite ironic, and I think Xander recognizes that. Nigel believes himself too old, too lowborn, too everything for Arabella. He doesn't think himself a good match for her, and that's kind of the same problem. That's the same way that Mac felt when Pippa was trying to get his attention. And Arabella is just like Pippa. She's determined to have Nigel. And she mentions herself that she grew up on stories of her parents' love and how her mother was fighting for her father. And she's convinced that Nigel Streeter is the man for her and she's going to have him. Now, it is a novella, so things develop pretty quick, but we do get to witness Nigel go through his internal struggle of accepting that yes, Arabella wants him, and yes, he is good enough for her. So what, that they have that age difference? He loves her and she loves him. Why not let them be happy? Another parallel to Pippa and Mac's story is when Nigel and Arabella have their first kiss. I believe at the time of the kiss, Nigel thinks it's just gonna be a one-time thing that doesn't mean anything, and then he can move on with his life, the same that Mac thought with Pippa. But the kiss leaves such an impression that Nigel himself says this was not just a kiss. The way he said it, it was glorious, earth-shattering. The clouds opened up and angels wept. That's how Nigel referred to their first kiss with Arabella. Now, in this book, before reading the novella, I was wondering, how is Mac going to react to his best friend's son courting his only daughter? And I thought he might be furious, he might be against it, but Mac was actually okay with it. Maybe that's because he pretty much helped raise Nigel along with Toby. He knows the kind of man Nigel had grown up to, and he loves him like family. Nigel is part of family, and he actually believes his daughter is going to be in good hands, even though it's difficult for Mac to realize that his little girl is all grown up and she's moving on to start her own family. A moment I really liked in this book was when Nigel finally gives in to his feelings and he makes the decision that, yes, this woman is going to be mine. I want to be with her and she wants to be with me. And this is the moment before they have their first intimate encounter, which, by the way, was quite steamy, was beautiful described. Honestly, Tracy Sumner is really good with her steamy scenes. Her books, the Duchess Society books, are probably some of the steamiest historical romance I have read, and I absolutely love it. Now, before Nigel takes Arabella to bed, he tells her, he's like, you know what, do you realize if we do this, you're mine, there's no going back from that. And what he means is that they're gonna get married, but he doesn't say it like that. He kind of assumes that she will understand the meaning, but she doesn't, because we girls need a proper proposal. And then there's actually a little bit of conflict, which again kind of mimics the conflict between Pippa and Xander, when Xander screwed up a little bit and then he really had to make it up to Pippa. And when he proposed, he wasn't even sure if she's going to accept it or not. Same thing happened here with Nigel and Arabella. When he wasn't clear with his intentions and his words, she's kind of upset with him, and then he has to make it up. Before he does, he has a conversation with Xander, and Xander is like, well, Pippa was like that. It's actually quite interesting how Mac can actually recognize that his daughter's story is a mirror of his own story. I think he probably finds that ironic. But yeah, Nigel makes it up to Arabella and he proposes, and of course she accepts. She wants to be with him, she loves him. Let me read you this little piece from the epilogue where we get to see Xander and Pippa again. I love you, Xander Macauley. He laid his hand over his heart. Little Darlington, I love you more. And that's just so beautiful. The epilogue made me want to cry happy tears because we get to witness Pippa and Xander again, and they're still in love. They now have 4 children, but their love is just as strong, if not stronger. So I'm very thankful to Tracy Sumner for this opportunity to take a little sneak peek into my favorite characters' lives. And honestly, I recommend this novella. It's a good read. It was short and cozy and very, very heartwarming. Have you read The Daring Debutante? If you have, let me know what you thought about it. Let's have a little discussion. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like and stay tuned for my reviews of the Duchess Society books. Have a great day.